Hi, everybody. It is Howard the Workout Man, and today I'm going to talk about the gyms in Montreal. The best, the worst. Keep in mind, I'm actually from Montreal originally. I go and visit all the time. I go and visit a lot. I like to see my family. I like to see my old friends. And when I go to Montreal, I like to work out when I'm there. Montreal used to have a very hardcore bodybuilding vibe when I was there, 25 years ago. And a lot of the gyms that were there before are still there, but the vibe has changed. So I'll talk about that. I'm going to talk about the one off gyms and then I'm going to talk about the chains. Okay, so let me first talk about Monster Gym. Monster Gym is in the West Island. 25 years ago, it was a pretty small gym, but it was great. I loved it. It was kind of had a hardcore bodybuilding demographic, but it also had the mainstream fitness in the West Island. So it's continued to have the same vibe, which is a great vibe. It's a combination of bodybuilding, fitness, and people that are serious about fitness in the area. However, they've expanded the gym. It's double the size. They have more equipment. It's always very clean. So, it's woman friendly. Um, it's bodybuilder friendly. It's fitness friendly. They've even got a CrossFit area. They've got an outdoor section, which I kind of love in the summer. So you can do chin ups outside, squats outside, sled outside. It's even got a running track. Once in a while, they have a DJ. I can't remember if I said already, but they're open 24 hours. Monster Gym is a great gym. I don't like their equipment as much as some of the newer gyms, but it's still really good. Anyways, I rated a solid 9.5, and I recommend checking it out. So Monster Gym in the West Island. Pro Gym. Pro Gym used to be the home of bodybuilding in Montreal. It was hardcore to the bone. It's no longer so hardcore. It's a huge gym. It is probably the biggest gym I've ever been to in my life. And the demographic is kind of mixed. The area that it's in is not necessarily, it's kind of low end. So you got a bit of a low end crowd. There's still maybe a 25% bodybuilding crowd. The equipment's older, but really good. I really like the equipment. There's lots of it. I mean, lots and lots and lots of it. It's cardio walking from one side of the gym to the other. Frankly, it's so big. There's tons of cardiovascular equipment. There's a separate ab room. So there are a lot of really good things about Pro Gym. Pro Gym is also free compared to what they charge in other places. So I think a 1 year membership is $320 a year. I would recommend checking out Pro Gym. Oh, I didn't mention Monster's got a restaurant in it. Pro Gym and Monster both have barbershops in their gyms. So they're really full out, like comprehensive places for services. And Pro Gym is pretty clean. Not as clean as Monster, but pretty clean. So I recommend checking out Pro Gym. I would give Pro Gym an 8, maybe and a half. I have to go back to decide on the half, so let's say an 8. Next, I'm going to talk about M Fitness. M Fitness saddens me a bit. M Fitness was called Weider Gym going back, let's say 15, 20 years ago, and it was one of the meccas of bodybuilding. They still have all the same weight training equipment, which is great. Unfortunately, they still have all the same cardiovascular equipment too, which is getting very dated. And so is the demographic. There's really not bodybuilders that go to that gym anymore. Those days are done. It's got a terrible demographic, which is a combination of seniors and I'm going to say students. The equipment is still there, and they've got this juice bar, but it's so uninspiring to be there. Plus, there's no windows. So I would give the bodybuilding equipment that's there alone, I would give an 8. But the overall gym with that terrible ambiance, I'm going to give 5. They need to do something about the cardiovascular equipment and attract a different crowd if it's possible. It's in the Carry Square. It's a great location. It's right off, the highway. There's lots of parking, but for me personally, I just can't get over that demographic. Now I'm going to go into more chains. So first, I'm going to talk about World Gym. World Gym is a newer change. Excuse me, a newer chain. It's not the same World Gym that we're used to from 20 years ago. It's no longer a hardcore bodybuilding chain. like it was. It's now become a mainstream fitness chain. There's maybe four or five of them around Montreal. You know what? They're great gyms. It's all brand new techno gym equipment. They're all very clean. They've got great cardio. The demographics nice, but different in each location. Like in Griffintown, it's very young and attractive and fun. And in the West Island, it's more of a neighborhood feel. Um, a little bit older, but still great equipment, still young and fun. It's very inexpensive, and you can get a membership to all of their different locations. I would strongly recommend checking out World Gym. The next chain is Econo Fitness. Econo Fitness, it's even less expensive than World Gym and Pro Gym, I'm going to say. I think if you're a member to only one of them, it's less than 20 bucks a month. However, if you're a member of the whole chain, similar to Planet Fitness, you can go to every location and then it's like, I don't know, $300 a year or something. So they're basing their business model on price, just like Planet Fitness, hoping to get a lot of members that don't go. The best thing about Econo Fitness, number one, the price. Number two, the location. There's lots of them, and you can pick and choose. They're also newer. Most of them are not old. The equipment is very mainstream equipment. There's nothing out of the ordinary. You have everything you need, but nothing special. So similar to a Planet Fitness that way. The vibe changes in different locations. So the locations aren't honestly my personal favorite, any of them, but still, there's lots of them. I would say the demographic is mostly very uninspiring. Not as bad as M Fitness, but still uninspiring. So I would rate those gyms a 6.5. They've got fair equipment. It's good for the mainstream. Good cardiovascular equipment, always clean, so you can count on a lot of good things. And you get potentially a membership to many different locations. So I would say check it out. If you don't want to be hardcore, if you just want to go 3 days a week and be fit and whatever, it's totally fine and good as a chain. The bottom end is Energy Cardio, so I think that's owned by Good Life. They at least have an affiliation with Good Life where I can use my Good Life membership to get in for free at Energy Cardio, which is the only reason why I've gone there. So I've gone to the one on Sherbrooke and I've gone to the one downtown. I've actually gone to the one on Sherbrooke on numerous occasions. The demographic is so uninspiring. I find it very hard to work out there. I'm almost embarrassed to lift heavy weights. The equipment is acceptable. It's newer. It's pretty clean there because it's so quiet. I don't know how it could not be clean. Equipment is very similar to what they have at Econo Fitness. The only difference, the demographics even less inspiring, and there's less locations. I'm not quite sure why someone would join there unless they lived right next to one, because the price is even higher than Econo Fitness. So I actually prefer when I'm in Montreal to pay for the gym I go to than to train at Econo Fitness for free. That's how much I dislike it. So I would give the equipment there, it's fine. I would give it a 6. I would give the demographic there a 1. Um, and then the number of locations and price and all of that. Unfortunately, I have to rate that chain a 4, 3.5 to a 4. Sorry, Econo Fitness. The only other thing I'm going to mention is Platinum. I used to go to Platinum 25, 20 years ago, 15 years ago when it was called West Coast Gym. It was called Winston's even before that. And then it turned to Platinum. And then the owner switched locations. I have not been there since he switched locations. It was a really good gym when it was on Jean Talon. I'm sure it's still a good gym now. I can't say what it's like. That's my review of the gyms in Montreal. I think that's pretty comprehensive, actually. I don't think that there's many more. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What you think of the different gyms, etc. Have a great workout, everybody. Cheers.